Hello students, welcome to Pi Academy, the place for mathematics and science. Dear students, in today's class we are going to continue the chapter gravitation. And remember, this is fifth period of this chapter. In the fourth period, we come across two important differences. Can you recall them? Yes. Then what is first one? It is the differences between small g and capital G, where small g is acceleration due to gravity, then capital G, gravitational constant. How do you define this? It is the acceleration obtained by a body due to the gravitational force of the earth. And gravitational constant, it is the gravitational force acting between two bodies with unit mass and unit distance between their centers. Then what is its SI unit? It is meter per second square. It is Newton meter square kg to the power minus 2. Then what is the value of G on the surface of the earth? It is 9.8 meter per second square. Capital G, it is 6.67 into 10 raised to the power minus 11 Newton meter square kg to the power minus 2. Then which of these two is a scalar quantity? Very good. Capital G is scalar quantity and small g is a vector quantity. And which one is always constant? Very good. It is capital G, that is gravitational constant. Whereas small g, it varies from place to place on the surface of the earth. Then after that, even we come across the differences between two more important physical quantities. One is mass and another one is weight. Then how do you define mass? It is the quantity of matter present in a body. Weight, it is the force exerted by the earth on an object towards its center, right? Then mass, it is always constant, whereas weight varies. Then mass is what type of physical quantity? It is a scalar. Weight, it is a vector quantity. Then what is the SI unit of mass? This is kilogram. Weight, it is Newton. Then mass can be measured by using a device. What is that device? It is physical balance or pan balance. Weight can be measured by using the device called spring balance. Okay, these are the differences. Then after that, we come across one of the important statement which gives the relationship between the weight of an object on the earth as well as on the moon. What is that? It is weight of an object on the moon is 1/6 the weight of an object on the surface of the earth, right? Even we proved that statement by taking the mass and radius of both earth and the moon. Now in today's class we are going to prove the same statement, but they are given in a different way. Please go through this. This is fourth one. It has been given like this. Show that weight of an object on the moon is 1/6 its weight on the surface of the earth. Given that, so this is very important, mass of the earth is 100 times the mass of the moon and the radius of the earth is 4 times that of the moon. With these two information, we have to prove the statement. Shall we go for proving? Yes. Don't copy, just keep observing. Here first I'll write data. Here, see that. The question is, show that weight of an object. So, its mass is unknown. Let us assume that first. Let the mass of an object be m kg. Got it? Next. Look here. And do you know mass of the earth and mass of the moon as well as their radius unknown. So let us write the mass of the earth. Let it be. It is me kg. The mass of the moon, mass of the moon. You may take that as m small m, mass of the moon. Next, radius of the earth. Radius of the earth. How do you take? Very good. It is RE. And what about the radius of the moon? Radius of the moon is, it is RM. RM. Radius of the earth is RE, moon is RM. Next, let us go through the statement. It is given that mass of the earth is 100 times the mass of the moon. Mass of the earth, how do you represent it? Very good. It is ME. It is 100 times the mass of the moon. What is the mass of the moon? It is MM. 100 times mass of the moon. Next. And the radius of the earth is 4 times that of the moon. The radius of the earth is RE. And radius of the moon, it can be written as RM. RE equal to 4 times RM. With this information, we are going to prove that. What we have to prove? It is weight of the object on the earth, on the moon. Weight of the object on the moon, let us take this as WM, is 1/6 the weight of the same object on the earth. That is 1/6 into WE. Then obviously we should find out, okay, WM, that is weight of the object on the moon by weight of the object on the earth. Here, let me write the proof. First, let us go for taking weight of the object on the moon. Weight of the object on the moon. It is WE, or else, is equal to, it is the force exerted by the moon on the object, right? Or the force with which moon attracts the object. Yes. Weight of the moon, weight of the object on the moon is denoted by WM. Then force with which moon attracts the object, that is mass of the object and acceleration due to gravity on the moon. Followed? Then what is acceleration due to gravity on the moon? It is G, mass of the moon, M by D square. That is, it is RM square. Hope that you are understanding. Next, similarly, I take weight of the object on the earth. How do you write this? It is the force with which earth attracts the moon towards its center. Force with which the earth attracts the object. Hence, it can be written as weight of the object on the earth. It is WE is equal to mass of the object into acceleration due to gravity on the earth. That is G. It is equal to mass of the object as it is acceleration due to gravity on the earth. It is Gm by D square. That can be written as G M, mass of the earth, then by RE square. Followed? Next, let me go for continuing here. This is Wm by WE, Wm, that is weight of the object on the moon by weight of the object on the earth, this is equal to weight of the object on the moon is, it is m into gmm by rm square. Next, by the weight of the object on the surface of the earth, it is m into gme by re square. Followed? Now g get cancelled. This is equal to, here I am writing, it is m, that is mass of the moon by radius of the moon square, it is into, take the reciprocal of the denominator, it is re square by, it is me. This is equal to, they have given that, see the me is 100 times mm, re 4 times rm. Here I write mass of the moon as it is, radius of the moon as it is, into re, it is 4 times rm, 4 times radius of the moon whole square divided by me, it is 100 times mass of the moon, 100 times mass of the moon, which is equal to, this is m by rm square. Here on, okay, let it into, now apply square to both. 4 whole square is 16, rm whole square is rm square by, it is 100 times m. Then rm square get cancelled, mm get cancelled. This is equal to 16 by 100. 4 4s are, then 4 25s are. It is 4 1s are, 4 6s are, 1s are, 2s are, 5s are. Approximately it can be written as 1 by 6. 1 by 6. That is mass of the weight of the object on the moon is 1/6 the weight of the same object on the surface of the earth. This is hence proved. Hope that you have understood. Once you go through that thoroughly, then you can go for copying from there to here. Copy this. Dear students, now let's go for answering the questions given in page number 138 related to gravitation. Observe. First one, what are the differences between mass of an object and its weight? Dear students, we have already come to know the differences between mass as well as weight in the yesterday's class itself. Even in today's class, in the beginning itself, we have recalled them. So here I write. So it has already been answered, but you should write them separately. Next, second one. Why is the weight of an object on the moon 1/6 its weight on the earth? Dear students, we have already come to know the weight of an object on the moon is 1/6 the weight of the object on the earth, in two different ways. So in today only we came to know that mass of the moon is 1 by 100 times the mass of the earth, right? Whereas its radius is 1 by 4 times the radius of the earth. So here I write mass of the moon is 1 by 100 times the mass of the earth, and radius of the moon is 1 by 4 times the radius of the earth, right? Due to this, the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the moon is 1/6 times the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth. Therefore, weight of an object on the moon is 1/6 its weight on the earth. So the further calculation should be done by yourself, which has already been done in the previous problem itself. Calculation should be continued by yourself. Okay. Now we are moving to exercise questions. Please go through them. First one. How does the force of gravitation between two objects change when the distance between them is reduced to half? Dear students, just observe here. I'll go for answering this one. When the distance is reduced to half, then what will be the gravitational force, whether it increases or decreases? We know that as the distance decreases, the gravitational force increases. But how many times? It is 4 times, is it not? For example, from the law called inverse square law, we have come to know that F is proportional to 1 by d square. When the distance is reduced to half, that is 1 by 2 d whole square, then it will be 1 by d square by 4. Then it will be 4 into 1 by d square. See that gravitational force increases by 4 times. But it should be shown with a calculation. Here I'll write gravitational force between two objects is given by how? It is F is equal to G into m1 m2 by d square, right? When the distance is reduced to half, here I will go for writing that. When distance is reduced to half, that means we get a new distance. I call that as d dash. It is equal to d by 2. Whatever the distance at present is there, half of that. Then the new gravitational force, you may call this as F dash, is equal to G into m1 m2 by d dash whole square, right? So I don't have less space, so that I am continue here only. This is equal to G into m1 m2 by, what is d dash? It is d by 2 whole square. D by 2 whole square. Now this is equal to, I am continuing here, it is G m1 m2 by d by 2 whole square. It is d square by 4. Then take the reciprocal of the denominator. This will be 4 into G m1 m2 by d square, right? Then what is G m1 m2 by d square? It is F, right? Now here F dash is equal to 4 into F. The new gravitational force will be 4 times more than that of the actual gravitational force. Clear? So here we can write that. Therefore, the gravitational force increases by 4 times. Followed? Hope that you have understood. Now let's go for answering next question. Second one is like this. Please go through this. Don't go for copying anything. After completing my explanation, you can go for writing from there to this answer for this question. Gravitational force acts on all objects in proportion to their masses. Why then a heavy object does not fall faster than a light object? Dear students, we all know that gravitational force can be expressed as G into m1 m2 by d square, right? This is also nothing but mass into acceleration due to gravity, or else, all right, F is equal to m into g, where G is G m by r square, or else you may write even d square also. That means acceleration due to gravity, it depends on mass of the earth, not mass of the object. So that when the objects are dropped from the same height, they touch the ground simultaneously if there is no air resistance. Clear? Okay. So now I'll go for writing the sentence, that is answer for this question, and meanwhile you just go for writing from there to here. Hope that you have written up to here. Next, you should write from here. See that gravitational force acting between two bodies can be written as G m1 m2 by d square, and then weight of an object on the surface of the earth can be written as F is equal to m into g. Then where g is acceleration due to gravity, gm by d square. See that g contains mass of the earth, not the mass of the object. Hence g does not depend on mass of the object. Therefore, heavy objects do not fall faster than the light objects. Copy this. Dear students, go through this. Third one, and is important. Also, it's very simple. Go through the given statement. This is, what is the magnitude of gravitational force between the earth and a 1 kg object? See that this is the earth and here is 1 kg object. Next, object on its surface. Mass of the earth is given. It is 6 into 10 raised to the power 24. It is well known to us. Even its radius as well. 6.4 into 10 raised to the power 6 m. Can you guess the answer? Yes. When the mass of the object is 1 kg, then it will be equal to acceleration due to gravity. Right? I think you all may be thinking that how is this? See that F is equal to m1 m2 by d square. Here m1 and m2 are mass of the object and mass of the earth. So G m capital M by d, distance is nothing but r. See that mass of the object is 1 kg. Remaining gm by r square. What is gm by r square? It is nothing but small g, which is acceleration due to gravity. Followed? Then what is acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth? Very good. It is 9.8 meter per second square. So on calculation, our answer should also be same. Got it? Yes. Let's go for calculating. And please go on writing with me. Before that, pause the video and copy the question. Then after that, you can start writing with me. Here, let's write data. Here they are given mass of the earth and its radius. Right? And we do not know mass of the object. Mass of the object, you may call it as small m. It is 1 kg. Then mass of the earth is, it is capital M. How much? This is 6 into 10 raised to the power 24 kg. Then radius of the earth, this is capital R, is equal to 6.4 into 10 raised to the power 6 meter. You are going to find out the gravitational force acting between the object and the earth. Here I'll write gravitational force, that is F is equal to question mark. Calculation. Please go on writing with me. Gravitational force acting between an object and the earth is given by, see, moreover the object is on the surface of the earth. So therefore we can write F is equal to G into small m. It is mass of the object. Capital M, mass of the earth, and the distance between them is equal to radius of the earth, that is r square. Clear? Then here what does G indicate? It is acceleration due, gravitational constant. We know that its value, we know that capital G is equal to 6.67 into 10 raised to the power minus 11 Newton meter square kg to the power minus 2. Followed? Substitute the same. Here 6.67 into 10 raised to the power minus 11 into, what is, if you want you can write the unit as well. It is Newton meter square kg to the power minus 2 into mass of the object. It is 1 kg. Mass of the earth, that is 6 into 10 raised to the power 24 kg. See that kg square, kg raised to the power minus 2 get cancelled. Divided by r square, that is the radius of the earth. It is 6.4 into 10 raised to the power 6 whole square. Then meter is there, right, meter square. Meter square get cancelled. What will remain? Only Newton. What does Newton indicate? It is the unit of force. Got it? Now this is equal to, first here we know that how to solve this type of problem when exponents are given. First write the decimal numbers and other numbers on one side, left hand side, and write all other exponents on the right side. It is 6.67 into 1 into 6 into 10 raised to the power minus 11. Then this is 10 raised to the power 24. We have used the law of exponent. A raised to the power m into a raised to the power n is equal to a raised to the power m plus n. Next, this is 6.4 into 10 raised to the power 6 whole square. This is 6.4 into 6.4 into 10 raised to the power. It is 10 raised to the power 6 whole square. A raised to the power m whole raised to the power n is equal to a raised to the power m into n. So 6 into 2 is 12. Hope that you have understood. Now this is equal to, now you may go for removing the decimals. Look here. In the numerator after decimal 2 digits, 2 zeros in the denominator. In the denominator after decimal, here 1 digit, 2 digits. Numerator 2 zeros. They get cancelled. Directly we can write 667 into 6 into 10 raised to the power minus 11 plus 24. This is 13. Take 10 raised to the power 12 to the numerator. It becomes minus 12 whole divided by 64 into 64. Understood? Now go for cancellation. 2 3s are 2 3s are 2s are. Now let us go for multiply. This is equal to, multiply 667 and 3. 3 7s are 21. 2 is the carry. 3 6 are 18 plus 2 20. 2 is the carry. 3 6 are 18 plus 2 20. 2001 into 10 raised to the power 13 minus 12. 13 minus 12 is 1. 10 raised to the power 1 is 10. Now multiply 32 and 64. Now 64 2s are 128. 12 is the carry. 64 3s are 63s are 180. 4 3s are 12. 180 plus 12 192. 192 plus 12 it is 204. 2048. Now here I will go for continuing. This is equal to, multiply 10, it will be 20,010 divided by 2048. Now go for dividing 20,010 by 2048. How much are? When you go for 28,048 tens are, it will be 20,480. Then it is less than that. Hence, we can go for 9 sir. 9 8s are 72. 7 is the carry. 9 4s are 36. 43. 4 is the carry. Then it is 4. 9 2s are 18. Now subtract. It is 10 minus 2, 8. 0 will remain. Borrow 1. 10 minus 3, 7. 9 minus 4, 5. 9 minus 8, 1. 1 minus 1, 0. Then put decimal, take 0. Now this is 15,780. Here 2,048. Then can we go for, see, 2,000. 5s are, 6s are, 7s are. 7s are. 2,000, 7s are 14,000, which is less than this, will come. Now 7 8s are 56, 5. 7 4s are 28. 28 plus 5, it is 33. 3 is the carry. This is 3. 7 2s are 14. Subtract. It is 10 minus 6, 4. 7 minus 3, 4. 7 minus 3, 4. 5 minus 4, 1. Again take 1 0. Again 7s are. So this will be equal to 9.77 and so on. Approximately it can be written as 9.8 meter per second square. Did you understand? So this is approximate value. So conclusion. Therefore, what we have to write? The magnitude of gravitational force between Earth and 1 kg object on its surface is 9.8 meter per second square. Therefore, the gravitational force between the Earth and 1 kg object is approximately 9.8 meter per second square. Hope that you have understood well. Now, please go for copying from there to here. Dear students, please go through these two questions. They are very important. First one, it is like this. The Earth and the Moon are attracted to each other by a gravitational force. No doubt, the gravitational force will be acting between Earth and the Moon. The question is, does the Earth attract the Moon with a force that is greater or smaller or the same as the force with which the Moon attracts the Earth? Why? There are two sub-questions. Hope that you have understood. Very simple. See, whether Earth attracts the Moon with a force which is greater than the force exerted by the Moon or smaller than the force exerted by the Moon or same as the force with which the Moon attracts the Earth. Among these three, which is correct? Here, third one is correct. Here, observe. This is Earth and here is the Moon. Look here. The gravitational force is acting between these two bodies. Earth attracts the Moon towards it. Moon attracts the Earth towards it. Right? And this force, whatever the force is acting between them, is equal but opposite in direction. Clear? So this is according to Newton's third law of motion. To every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. See that action is the force exerted by the Earth on the Moon. The reaction is Moon will also exert the force on the Earth. But these two forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Yes, let's go for writing the answer. Observe. Does the Earth attract the Moon with a force that is greater or smaller or same? Which one? It is same. Alright. Yes. The Earth attracts the Moon with a force which is which is same as the force exerted by the moon, or the force with which the moon attracts. Moon attracts. Followed? Then another sub question. Why? The reason is, and these attraction forces are equal magnitudes and opposite in direction. This is according to Newton's third law of motion. This is according to Newton's third law of motion. Followed? Okay, now let's go for fifth one. And before that, dear students, in third one, we got the answer, that is 9.77. Actually, it is the force acting between the earth and 1 kg object. The unit of force is Newton. We had written meter per second square. Please strike it out and write this Newton. Observe this, fifth one. If the moon attracts the earth, why does the moon will not move towards the, or earth will not move towards the moon? If the moon attracts the earth, why does the earth not move towards the moon? Look at again, see that here this is earth and here is the moon. We came to know that here earth will exert the force on the moon. That means it attracts the moon towards it. And moon will also exert the force on the earth. It attracts the earth towards it. But why the earth will not move towards the moon? Dear students, very simple. Look here, earth has greater mass than that of the moon, and as the mass increases, what will be the acceleration? Acceleration decreases. We know that F is equal to m into a. As the mass increases, then more amount of force is required, but that much of force will not be there from the moon. Got it? So earth accelerates less than the acceleration produced in the moon. Hence, the earth will not move towards the moon. So now I am going to write the answer, and please go for writing from there to here. And before that, again I have been reminding you, go for correction this one. Yes. Go for writing this answer. See that? The earth and moon experience equal forces but opposite in direction. But on comparing with the mass of earth and the moon, mass of the earth is greater than the mass of the moon. Hence, the rate of acceleration of the earth is lesser than that of the moon. So, even though the same amount of force is exerted from both the sides, as the mass of the earth is greater, still it needs more force for acceleration. Whereas moon is not like that. Its mass is smaller than that of the earth, so its acceleration will be more. So for this reason, earth does not move towards the moon. Let's copy this one. Dear students, sixth one. This is also very important in the examination point of view. Please go through this. What happens to the force between two objects? Nothing but gravitational force. If for three conditions, let's go for answering one by one. First one is the mass of one object is doubled. Hope that you have understood. Dear students, we are familiar with the gravitational force acting between two objects. How do you write? it is F is equal to G into M1 M2 by D square. I am going to write the same first. We know that the gravitational force acting between two objects is given by how? It is F is equal to G into M1 M2 by D square. Now let's go for one by one. First one, the mass of one object is doubled. You may go for taking any one. When the mass of one object, that is, you may call it as M1, is doubled, then the force is given by, look here, force, new force is to be taken as F dash. This is equal to G into, what is M1? M1 is doubled, that means 2 into M1, then M2 by D square. Here on that, right, it is equal to, take 2 outside, 2 into G M1 M2 by D square, which is equal to 2 into, what is G M1 M2 by D square? It is F, that is F dash is equal to 2F. What is the meaning of this? When the mass of one object is doubled, the gravitational force acting between the two objects also get doubled. That means it will be 2 times more than that of the original force. Followed? So here I write, therefore the force between two objects increases by 2 times. Followed? Yes. Let's move on to second. What is second one? The distance between the objects is doubled and also, next case, tripled. In second one only, there are 2 cases. I take case 1. First one, what is that? Distance between two objects is doubled. When the distance between two objects, distance, that is, you may call it as D, that is, they only have given D, is doubled, then we can write the new force as F dash is equal to G M1 M2 by D square. What is D? D is doubled, so it is 2D whole square, which is equal to G M1 M2 by, apply square to both, 4D square. Then this is equal to 1 by 4 into G M1 M2 by D square. What is? It is F. So therefore that means we can write F dash is equal to 1 by 4 into F. Very simple. As the distance increases, the gravitational force decreases. Here also the same thing has happened. Look here, the gravitational force acting between the two objects decreases by 4 times. Got it? Here I write. Therefore, the gravitational force decreases by 4 times. Next, in that only second case. Second case is when the distance is tripled. When the distance is tripled. Yes. Again, force can be written as F dash is equal to G into M1 M2 by distance. It is tripled, 3D whole square. It is G M1 M2 by, what is 3D whole square? It is 9 d square. So 1 by 9 into g m1 m2 by d square, which is f. Now we can write f dash is equal to 1 by 9 into f. That means the new force is 9 times less than that of the original force. Therefore, the gravitational force decreases by 9 times. Next, third. What is third one? The masses of both objects are doubled. When m1 and m2 are doubled, when both are doubled, let us see the new force. Force, that is f dash, is equal to g into m1. m1 is doubled, so we can write 2m1. m2 is also doubled, so 2m2 by d square, which is equal to, here what is 2 2s are 4. 4 into g into m1 m2 by d square. So 4 into, what is g m1 m2 by d square? It is f. 4f. F, that is f dash is equal to 4f, which means the new force existing is 4 times more than that of the original force. Here we can write the gravitational force increases by 4 times. Therefore, the gravitational force increases by 4 times. Understood? Yes. Please go for copying from there to here. Dear students, let's move on to some other questions. Go through this. 7th one. What is the importance of universal law of gravitation? What does it tell? We know that every particle in the universe attracts every other particle with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. But what is the importance? From this law, we can come to know that every particle or every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force. Followed, this is the importance. So, let me write. Answer. The importance is that, universal law of gravitation proves that every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force. Followed? Next, go through 8th one. What is the acceleration of free fall? See, when the object is falling towards the ground only under the influence of gravitational force of the earth, then we call that as free fall. But what is its acceleration? Yes, on the earth it will be 9.8 meter per second square. So let's go for writing that. What is the acceleration of free fall? The acceleration of free fall is 9.8 meter per second square. The acceleration of free fall is 9.8 meter per second square. But let's go for writing even free fall also. Definition of free fall. When an object falls under the influence of gravitational force alone, then it is called then it is called free fall. Free fall. Acceleration of free fall body on the surface of the earth, it is 9.8 meter per second square, irrespective of the masses of the object. Whatever the mass of the object may be, here I'll write, irrespective of masses. Next, let's move on to 9th one. See, what do we call the gravitational force between the earth and an object? What is that? It is nothing but gravity, right? See that? If the force acting between earth and the object, or object and earth only, it is gravity. If with any other object, that is gravitational force. So it is gravity. Who introduced the word gravity? Yes, Sir Isaac Newton. Remember that. Next. 10th one. Very nice statement. Please go through this. Amit buys few grams of gold at Paul's as per the instruction of one of his friends. He hands over the same when he meets him, when Amit meets his friend at equator. Then will the friend agree with the weight of the gold bought? What do you say? If not, why? What do you say about first one? Very simple. See here, this is the earth, geoid shape of the earth. And this part is pole. And this is equator. Then Amit buys gold, some grams of gold at the poles. And his friend is in equator. He comes to equator and he hands over to his friend. Whether his friend will agree the weight of the gold bought by Amit? Not at all. Why? Because by the time he brings gold from pole to the equator, the weight of the gold decreases. What is the reason? The reason is the acceleration due to gravity at the pole is more than that of the equator, or at the equator is less than that of the pole. And we know that weight is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity. Mass into acceleration due to gravity. As acceleration increases, weight increases. As it decreases, weight also decreases. Got it? Yes. Let's go for writing the answer. What he says? Whether will the friend agree with the weight of gold bought by Amit? No. So we can write no. The friend will not agree with the weight of gold bought by Amit. Then they'll ask answer. We know that weight is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity, and the acceleration due to gravity at the equator is less than that of the pole, because the acceleration due to gravity is smaller than that on the pole. Hence, weight of the gold bought to the equator decreases. Clear? Okay, please go for copying from there to here. Okay, dear students, hope that you have written up to here. And today we have discussed very important questions, particularly in the exercise. and please practice them or practice all these questions today itself. Okay, dear students, actually the chapter has been completed. So in case of the whole chapter has not been completed, but only the part of the gravitation which is related to first term has been completed, and still few more questions are there to answer. We need only one period to complete this lesson. Then after that, from next day onwards, we can focus completely on chemistry. Okay, again I am reminding you, whatever we have done, please do practice them today itself without fail. With this, let us stop the class. Thank you very much.